Salvete discipuli et discipulae, Abecedarius, literae Latinae, pars secundae, consonantes. So today we're going to take a look at the consonants in the Latin alphabet. You're going to find that they are, for the most part, like English, but there are a few exceptions. So, general rule, Latin consonants pronounced the same way as they do in English. All the consonants you see in black are identical. They makes a B sound, D, D, F, F. Ka makes the K sound, L, O, M, N, P, P. K, or Ku rather, makes the K sound. Usually you find that with the letter U, so it makes a Qu sound. R makes the or the R sound. Te, T, and Zeta, Z. So it's the ones that are highlighted in red that have some differences between English and Latin. So we're going to go through those. Start with the letter K. Letter K, which is this guy right here. All right. So the letter K in Latin always makes a K sound, like our letter K. Never makes a S or a Ch sound, like you might sometimes hear in English. So even though we call him Caesar, his real name is Caesar. So that K makes the K sound, Caesar. And while we're on the topic, that letter S always makes a S sound in Latin. Never a Z, never a Sh. So again, he's not Caesar. The Romans called him Caesar. Caesar. All right, so the next letter is the letter G. G always makes a G sound, always the hard sound, like at the beginning of the English word garbage. So if you listen to that English word garbage, the second G there makes a J sound. Well, there's no J sound in Latin at all, so it's always a G. So even though you and I would call the place Germany, the Romans called it Germania. Germania. Now, Caesar never went to Germania, but he did go to a place called Gallia. So Caesar went to Gallia, not Germania. Next letter is Ha. So Ha really is just like a breathing noise. Huh, right? Just kind of breathe when you say the word. So harina is how the Romans would say that word there. Harina. Harina is all those grains. Now, a lot of Romans drop the H at the beginning of their words, kind of like in Britain, a lot of people will drop the H. Instead of happy, you'll hear someone in Britain say happy. So some Romans, instead of harina, would say arena. That's where we get our word arena, because it was filled with harina. I like to pronounce my H's. In my classes, we'll pronounce our H's. We'll say harena. Now, there was an emperor by the name of Hadrian. His real name was Hadrianus. Now, sometimes that H would get dropped too, and Hadrianus would become Adrianus. In fact, that's where our name Adrian comes from. But I like to pronounce the H, so I'll call him Hadrianus. Next letter is actually a vowel, the vowel E. Again, that's this one right here, pronounced E. Sometimes that's a vowel, but in certain situations, it could become a consonant. The rule for that is if you see the letter E before another vowel, it makes the Y sound. So Julius and Janua. Now, if you say the two vowel sounds differently, E and U, EU, U, you can kind of hear the Y sound. E-A, Ya, Janua, you can kind of hear that Y sound there as well. So the letter E before another vowel makes the Y sound. Julius, Janua. Now, in the Middle Ages, they didn't really like that an I could be sometimes a vowel and sometimes a consonant. So when it was a consonant, they put a little tail on it, right? So sometimes you'll see this written with a J. Now, the Romans still said Julius and Janua, but in English, we turn that into a J sound. That's why we call him Julius. That's where we get our word janitor and January. It's from this word Janua. So the janitor is the guy who originally protected the Janua, and January is the doorway to the new year. Sometimes the country Yugoslavia, you'll see spelled with a J, but pronounced like a Y, and that goes back to the old Roman rules for that I making a Y sound before another vowel. Julius Janua. So we got Julius Caesar, went to Gallia, and not Germania. All right, so the next letter over is the S, but we already talked about that in Caesar. So let's go over to the U. Here's another one that is sometimes a vowel, sometimes a consonant. When it's a consonant, it makes the W sound. Now, if you say the vowel oo and you keep going, oo, you can kind of hear a W at the end of it. And that's why the consonant and the vowel are related. So in Latin, that always makes a W sound. So this over here is weeny, weedy, weaky. Sometimes you'll hear people in English pronounce that as veni, vidi, vici, but that violates all the rules that we've already just talked about. So the oo, when it's a consonant, makes the w sound, weiny. You've also heard that in solve and wale. In fact, there's no v sound in Latin at all. And in English, when we decided to use this letter for the v, we realized we had nothing for the w. So what we did is we took the old Latin w, doubled it, and that's where we get our W, or as it's called more aptly in Spanish, W, double V. All right, so you get the idea there. So the last letter over is X. X is always pronounced like a KS. That's really what it is like a K and an S stuck together. X. It never makes the Z sound like in English xylophone, and it never makes the GZ sound. Like sometimes in English you'll hear people say exit. Well, in Latin it's always a X sound. So it's exit, exit. All right. And these are really borrowed from Greek, but the key, the phi, the theta get represented in Latin as a CH, PH, and a TH. Remember that H is just a H. So really you just kind of breathe when you say the letters K, P, and T. It's kind of the same way you would say them anyway. K, P, T. So the word over here is zoteca. Zoteca, synonym for latrina. It's also our word theatrum. Our word theater comes from Latin theatrum, which has that same th. Again, there's no th sound in Latin. If you want a f, use the letter f, and there's really no ch sound at all. So those are the basic differences between the English alphabet and the Latin alphabet as far as consonants go. For the most part, they're the same, but we just talked about a few exceptions. Please run back through this PowerPoint. Say those out loud. Caesar went to Gallia, not Germania. Said Weeny Weedy Weeki. Full name is Julius Caesar. Anyway, have some fun with that. Waleta, Discipuli et Discipuli.